filming?
Yes.
Okay. Hi Brian, this is Mayor. I want to try to get some help with. I got called in early August to help trailer loader, and we've uncovered a bunch of other issues with her. And I wanted to take this video and so you could see for yourself instead of me trying to explain it to you, and see if you had any ideas what we could do for her. She is, how old is she, Casey?
6.
6 now. She was at the track when she was young, but never raced because they could never get her qualified to go in the gate. And we have suspicions that maybe they did some things really trying to pull her in or trap her in or something that traumatized her, but we don't know that for sure, and it's all just theory. But if you see here, she will not even lead into a stall door. She's been in out of this stall many times, been living in this stall or one just like it down the aisle since mid-August when she came to this farm. She still will send through the door, like she becomes a trailer loader, and sometimes she hurries in there and sometimes she hurries out, but you'll see she has a clear path to get out. She's pretty good. And she can sent in. I'll walk in here in front of her, and she just, and if you try to put any kind of normal pressure to come on, she just will refuse. And if you put more pressure, the refusal gets stronger. And if she does, a few times actually has tried it, she will blow backwards about halfway in and whack her head on top of the door. She at times she has a few times gotten frozen up so bad, especially after she scares herself hitting her head or something, where it gets difficult even to get her down or get her out sometimes. She's gotten pretty consistent about not being hung up and not being able to move, but that's kind of where we're at. Casey is the owner. She's holding the camera. Sometimes in the beginning, she wouldn't even go in something like this wash stall, would be too tight for her. She's generally okay with it now. Yeah, you can kind of see her expression, gets a little worried. The other thing we've noticed is she is much worse generally if you're on her left side, what we consider leading her normally, versus on the right side. She's let me lead her in here on the left. We'll see how she is today. Sometimes just switching to the other side. And back her out. So that's pretty typical. When she's got something on both sides of her is where she gets really bothered. It doesn't. She will hit her head sometimes on something above her, but it's not the. We played with the barn doors and stall doors. It seems to be when she feels confined in an opening. And horses I ever tried to work with, if you let them in and out of there a few dozen times and nothing bad happens, they would get over it. But she just doesn't seem to get. I've been working with her since usually a couple days a week at least or more since August, and we've kind of gotten stuck about here. Again, she won't let me lead her in while I'm in her left eye, and if I just get over here in the right eye, she's pretty open with that. So we're going to be backing her out. You can draw a line across here where the opening starts and stops. She gets bothered. We'll take her down here to this barn door where I've worked with her some. Just for scale, I'd say it's about 8 feet or 9 feet wide when it's that far open, and she's sometimes okay with that, but then still shows a little bit of reaction. I told Casey when we got here today, we planned to do this video last week, and kind of left her alone for a week, and I feel like she certainly hasn't got any better with a week off, and she's not horribly worse, but I feel like she lost a little bit of ground not working with her. Like I said, it was a lot of times 2 or 3 days a week. Yeah, and then you see she scares herself a little bit, and then she's pretty gentle, quiet horse, like to be petted. Casey rides her, hasn't had really any issues riding her. We'll start to close this door, and you'll be okay with that. Close it a little more. When it gets somewhere around the size of the stall door, he starts to say, "No, I'm not sure, I just can't do that." And if you work with her long enough here, you might make it again to get out from in front of her and offer to go on her own, just like the stall door. Pretty okay with that. But if she feels at all like you might hold her or stop her in the opening, she just won't come. Last thing I'm going to do is walk outside and show you a little footbridge that's out here, and just to give you an idea of the difference on, say, something scary to a horse and her being back like this. In my opinion, if you were ever going to have a horse refuse to go through or across something scary, this would be it. We'll get a little closer and you can see it, but 4x6 timbers, they're really uneven. There's spaces where you can see daylight down between them and spaces where there aren't. Some of them are kind of springy and you can feel them move under your feet when you step on them. Second day she was on the farm and she walked across it just like that. I didn't have to teach her or train her or convince her it was okay. She was fine with it, and I believe Casey has ridden her across this multiple times. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes. So you can see things underfoot. I've walked her on tarps. I'm trying to demo everything that we've done to her. I've done some round pin work with her to try to get her to kind of hook on and follow me around and be more comfortable being led. She's got about as good a ground manners as you could want a horse to have. We just have this issue with her being trapped in a narrow opening. Casey wants to haul her places and needs to trailer her at times, and we haven't worked her in the trailer since we moved her, because we figure if you can't get her in and out of her stall, the trailer's kind of hopeless still at this point. We put a towel over her head and blindfolded her finally after many sessions of trying to teach her to trailer load, and was scared to death that she would blow up in the trailer, but once she got inside, she hauled home okay. But we're hoping to have some way to haul her places that doesn't involve putting a sack or a coat over her head, and having her, especially if she wasn't great in the trailer. She was a hurting herself or tearing the trailer up, for instance. I think that's all. I'll call you and let you know where you can find this video. If you're seeing it, then I've already done that, I guess. And then maybe we can talk and see if you have any ideas. Appreciate it.